Hello YouTube, Colin Murphy aka SciStorm here, bringing you a Factorio video today. Just wanted to give you guys a little tutorial on a factory setup I thought of the other day. I did some looking on YouTube and I haven't seen anybody with this exact setup. I've seen a couple similar ones, but just wanted to highlight this one. So this setup will let you have keep any number of items in stock, and if you take some out of the chest it will create more of them. And it's also very compact. This setup right here will let you build any items that the assembly machines make pretty much, and is scalable to be longer or have more assembly machines if you want. And it's a lot more compact and efficient than kind of the traditional Factorio setup. Like there's a lot of resources just sitting around there and there's some bottlenecking possibly. So let's get into how it works. So these smart chests here contain all the kind of raw materials and intermediate materials. And you'll notice that these inserters are putting them all on this transport belt. And they're doing that at what seems like a kind of a timed action. And that's because they're hooked up to this red logistics network, which goes over to here to this little combination. And this is actually a clock, or it works as a clock. You'll see this piece of stone gets put in this chest here, and then it's taken out of the chest, and these inserters are set so that every time stone equals 1, they're going to pulse. So they put the raw materials and the intermediate materials on this transport belt, and then this transport belt goes around the edge of all these factories. And eventually that outer belt ends up over here in these chests, where it gets put back onto this belt, and they end up back in the supply. But the secret is that there's this green logistics network that's hooked up to all these smart chests. And the green logistics network is also hooked up to all the inserters that are on these factories. And that's where the magic kind of happens. So this inserter here, he only puts in copper cable, and he only puts it in if electronic circuits are fewer than 10 in the logistics network. And this one does the same thing with iron plates. So if I have fewer than 10 electronic circuits, this factory is going to be producing electronic circuits, and then they end up on this inner belt. And this inner belt just feeds along and then goes back so that they also end up in the supply. So this will allow you to keep any number in stock, and if I needed, some inserters or something, I take some out. And now this line here, these inserters, since I have fewer than the set number, 10, they're all going to turn on, and this is going to start making inserters again. Now, this chest here is for overflow. I've used the slower transportation belts here so that these inserters will have time to pick them up, and they each only pick up their respective materials so that we always have one of each component going into the system. This chest is for overflow in case anything gets by these. I haven't seen it happen with this setup, but if things got by, it could end up eventually building up and then messing up your whole system. Now this section here, this is for finished goods. Laser turrets aren't used in any other recipes in the game, so there's no reason to put them on this belt and have them go through the whole factory. So they just end up on this side, where you can come and grab them, whenever you need. Now, one of the nice things about this system is if I want to add a new one, it's pretty simple. I've already started here. I've got a smart inserter into a smart chest into another smart inserter. And the first thing you need to do, I'm going to make red transport belts because I just got that upgrade. And so if we look, red transport belts need green transport belts and iron gears. And I've got green transport belts here and iron gears here. So the first thing you do is you set this smart inserter to only pick up red transport belts. And I'm going to put them in this intermediate section because they're used in the fastest transport belts. So in the future when I upgrade, I want to be ready. This inserter here, I've already set up to be on the red network, and when stone equals 1 to pulse. So that's all set. And then next I need to pick a factory. Now I can pick any factory here. I'm just going to pick this one because it's easy. So the first thing I want to do is get some smart inserters. And I'm going to set them to insert. This one is only going to insert the basic transport belts, and this one is only going to insert the iron gears. And right now they can't see that smart chest because they're not hooked up to the green network. So let's just hook them up to the green network real quick. Okay. Now green wire condition, this is where you set how many of them you want to keep in stock. So with the red transport belts, I'm going to pick, we'll say, I don't know, 50 of them. You know, you can set this to whatever you want. And if it's less than 50, then this inserter is going to be picking up the iron gear wheels. And then this one, we'll do the same thing. Less than 50, pick up the transport belts. Or no, this needs to be red transport belts. Less than 50. Now, the last thing we need is an inserter to take the product out of the factory when it's done and put it onto the inner belt so it ends up in that chest. And then we can set this to make red transport belts. And you'll see it's already picking them up and putting the appropriate components in. And this guy's going to make it, and it'll eventually end up in that chest. Now, so you can see it's really quick to just add more of them. Like, if I needed to add more chests, I just add more inserters, chests, smart, you know, these are all smart inserters. I could extend this line so they all get put on it. Extend this line so they all get put in. And, you know, I just made this 4x4 round, but you can make this longer if you want to do more goods. And I've just done one of each, but, you know, components like these gear wheels, they're used in a lot of things. So you might want to have 2 factories produce them and keep more of them in stock so that it's a little faster. Anyway, just wanted to show off this setup because it's really compact and really easy to use. And later on, you know, when you have logistics robots, you could copy this blueprint and have a really scalable and efficient setup. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.